Hello, and good evening. This was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I wanted to get with some of you and kind of let you know what's to come, what we can expect. So I will give it a few minutes here, kill a little time waiting for some of you to come in. I have a candle lit tonight for our country. And I am going to put where am I going to put the paranormal flashlight at tonight? Hi, hello, I see somebody. Hi, Katie, how are you? Were you directed over here from Facebook? You know what? YouTube would not let me share it over there tonight. It kept restricting me. All right, trying to get the light set up. Waiting for a few more people to show up. Okay, Spirit is telling me that I have the right spot, and I am going to put it down here tonight. All right, Spirit, if you are in the room, can I get you to give me a wink or blink? Let me know that you have control of that light, please. Can you turn the light off? Let me know if I have that light adjusted correctly for you. Okay, I guess I had it set up for you. Okay, take my hand away. All right, Spirit, can you take control of that light, please? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anytime you come into to my sanctuary here, can you turn the light clear off, please? Let me know. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Lisa. You guys set your notifications. That's why you were able to find me. Or at least were directed over here. I am going to move this around yet one more time. I do want Spirit to use that light. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, they turned it off already. Is it the right place, right spot? Okay, I'll leave it go. All right. Those of you guys that are regulars, and all four of you are, you know how it works. I'm kind of hoping, since it is a Sunday night, that YouTube will throw me in their algorithm tonight. At least let me, hit some of the big public out there. I know you guys want to know my thoughts about what happened, about the attempt on 45, our president, former president. Those of you that do follow me, all four of you, you guys have heard me say, don't stay out of big venues. I specifically kept repeating the Pittsburgh area too. Kind of thought that was odd. It wasn't until it all went down that I put two and two together. Sometimes I'm given information and tidbits of information, and not great detail, but so we saw that happen. That is kind of the catalyst, and I didn't want to say the shot fired to set this in motion. Thank you, Spirit, on the light back there. I didn't see you come on. And the energy is going to be changing now. I predicted the 15th. Tomorrow is the 15th. It is the start of the convention. and the summer will get rockier as it goes. The pressure it's going to get a little more intense. And we're going to see more of that kind of just insane activity happening. More of it. Everybody's stocked up, right? You have 2 weeks worth of supplies, 2 weeks worth of some kind of rations. It's not going to happen right away. And you know what? Any of that preparatory stuff, like the big preppers do, it's like any kind of insurance. You have to have it to drive your car. And the hopes is you never need it. And same thing with prepping for whatever could be coming. This election is so serious to some people, not just in our country, but around the globe. Globalists that want to control our country also. So there are a lot of factors behind what's going on. Somebody asked me, was that a black swan event? No, that was a direct hit. A black swan event is usually collateral damage, just like the barge and the bridge thing. Very limited casualties, and however, the disruption in the supply chain, causing problems that way. Maybe even cutting off some needed, absolutely necessary things, trying to hurt us that way. You can buckle not just a country, but you can buckle the troops by not getting their supplies to them. Same thing with an entire country. And I think we will see some more of those black swan events, similar to the bridge. I got cotton mouth tonight. I was laughing all weekend. And before I heard about what happened. Can you believe how spectacular that guy was? Mr. T. Literally, Mr. T. That dude, when he gave us the fist pump and let us know that he was okay and that we are still strong and that we are united. Awesome. I didn't care for the guy for a lot of years. He said a lot of insulting things. He called women fat, ugly, and he said what he did. But the bottom line is, he cares enough about the country that I think that's the direction that a lot of us ought to look. Don't let me sway you. Do your own homework on who you feel you would like to vote for. How crazy. If you guys have any questions about anything that's up and coming, please go ahead and pop in there on the chat and let me see that. See your questions. This is a little disorienting tonight. I usually shoot my videos a little differently and then download them. I'm actually live over here at YouTube. I'm trying to still get adjusted to what's going on here. I also couldn't get over how spectacular that Pennsylvania crowd was. They did duck because the majority of them are used to guns, hunting, and you get down, you duck down. They didn't run. They didn't cower. If you looked at the front row of guys that were directly behind him, there were a few fellas there. They were trying to help, like, which direction that gunfire was coming from. So, hats off to those tough Pennsylvania people, man. They didn't run from the fight. Yeah, absolutely did not care for his mouth about women. However, he has a rude way of saying things, but his values are right. You know, uh, a big heartache of mine is when I had to leave home to go to work and leave my kids behind at daycare. And that is kind of where the downfall. Women do need to be in the household to get the roots under those kids one way or another. And he does feel that way so much that he's almost I don't want to say chauvinist, but maybe, yeah. Yeah, I absolutely feel bad. I know of several people that were in the crowd that have relayed to me what their experience was there. I have also several people who were supposed to be there and didn't go. Talk about more divine intervention. Those folks that were kept out of there was for a reason. My heart goes out to the families that did have the casualty. I know one dead for sure. Two, I'm hearing conflicting reports back and forth, but my heart goes out to them, and that is why the candle is lit tonight in their memory and for our country. We got to come together. Don't let this conquer and divide us. Hang on, let me see if I can. Okay, let's see. Do I see anything for the next gathering? Oh yeah, there'll be protests. What is it? The Democratic Convention coming up first, I believe, starting tomorrow, and you're going to see protests. That's why I predicted those dates. Where did I put that over here? I did keep those. July 15th is the start of the Republican convention. And that is Mars going in conjunct with Uranus. And Uranus is it is a planet that incites a lot of unexpected stuff. So in this time frame, expect the unexpected. Kind of be locked and loaded and braced for anything, so to speak. Yeah. Stay out of big crowds. Don't go to the convention. And then the Democratic Convention on August the 19th. Yeah, I haven't gone to any concerts or anything this year. I did kind of steer clear of it, even though I know that the energy is really starting now and it is going to feel a little more intense. So I don't want you guys to get worried or stressed about it. Just, you're getting, that's why I'm letting you know ahead of time to get you ready, kind of let you get braced for what's to come. We're prepped, we're ready. We're going to sit back and watch it. We are going to try and stay out of it. Okay. And what is a convention without a protest? It is part of how our country was founded. Hello, you guys. Hello, Destiny. Hello there, Jersey girl. Yeah, I got a little intense watching that video of our former commander in chief there. He kind of impressed me. Likewise with the Secret Service, I do feel they let him down. They did not have that perimeter secure. There were people telling some of the law enforcement there that they were pointing him out. There's a man on the roof with a gun. Hello, Colleen. Yeah, you know what? He is strong. If that doesn't prove, now he is President Trump is how old is he? He's in his 80s, right? Or right up there. Um, if that didn't prove that he was fit for the job, he just took the best physical you could give a man under fire, dude. It is, Colleen, and that's why we're here. The energy is gonna begin to get thicker and thicker. It could get chaotic. Yeah, just Destiny. Yeah, like the 70s. We had protests, and there were a lot of change that came about in the 70s. Trust me, I was there. Yeah, um, yeah, I'm an old chick. I'm that old. I usually start some of my videos by going, "Hey, you guys," and it kind of reminds me of that old hippie chick on the Cheech and Chong movies. She comes out, "Hey, you fucking guys." He's in his 70s, Destiny. It's right up there. I think he's almost 80 because I noticed the mainstream media was pointing out that there wasn't a lot of difference in their age. Some other psychics and some astrologers who have and I'm not a skilled astrologer by any means. I'm just an amateur. It is complicated, to say the least, to learn astrology. But there is a possibility that we may not have an election. Something we may have to have a postponement. That we may have to have a little something different. Perhaps we may not be allowed in the streets to vote. We may have to do it all electronically from home. Who knows? It is still kind of up in the air. But a lot of psychics and my mediums and myself are seeing it coming. I am going to go ahead and light a little more sage here. Let it go again. Only because of the energy. It is kind of a downer. Yeah, I wish we had a younger somebody more qualified as a candidate. Um, but you can see how controlled it is. It's not like the days of the old Jimmy Stewart movie when what is it, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. He was just a kind of regular Joe, and he um, worked his way up somehow got into the Senate or Congress. I forget where it was, but yeah, the powers that be control that a lot. They will keep the right guy out of the way, and that's that whole swamp draining thing. Ah, Lisa, he's a distant relative. Wow. Colleen, you know what? I gotta, your husband's not far off on that. I've got to tell you, one of the first things that went through my mind was, what if it was something set up? Yeah, kind of, it did go through my mind. Intuitively, no, it happened. Young man lost his life. That poor misguided kid that thought he needed to take that shot. He would have done us better by casting his ballot. You know, he was somebody's son, very misguided. I guess he didn't have much of a history. He just graduated a couple years ago. Yeah, I gotta Colleen, yeah, let your husband know. I'm kind of like great where he was at. It did cross my mind, and then I had to not look. I look at things as an investigator, which means I have to look at all the angles, and then I have to refer back to my gut as a psychic, and my psychic impression is that was real. It wasn't set up. I do think there was some poor coverage there by Secret Service. There was a big goof up there. I know they have been denying him um, extra coverage. Destiny, your mom was born in '74. I even go back a little farther than that. I got married in '72. Um, so you can kind of do the math a little bit, figure out how old what decade I came out of. Yeah, you know what? Those folks that were right near him. I don't know how that one bullet that did kill that the one person. I do believe he was a father and a family man, and he threw himself in front of his family, if I remember correctly. Um, but yeah, that had to be kind of a horrific thing. So proud of the Pennsylvania crowd, though. Damn it, those folks were tough. They didn't run. Um, Nobody screamed, with the exception of the lady in the proximity of the casualty. And she was justified by screaming. That would be the best I could come up with myself too. I would scream. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of tension. Make sure you don't get caught up in a lot of road rage. Give yourself plenty of travel time, no matter where you go, because everybody is going to be on edge. Don't buy into it. Don't feed it. Don't feed the anger. Don't feed the negativity. Always bring down your personal white light. Circle yourself in white light, God's white light, and allow yourself to calm down, chill out, count to 10, do what you need to do. Go get a shot of Jack Daniels, whatever it takes. Calm the hell down. Yeah, don't buy into it. That is the fear porn. That is the fear porn. They do want to divide and conquer us. I did post something over there at Facebook. You know what? You will not divide. You will not conquer us. We're going to stand united. Yeah, it's dangerous to put up a sign for who you do support. Now, I know households, and years ago this was common, that nobody spoke about who they voted for or who they were going to actually vote for the day of the election. They kept that to themselves. I had a friend who had her parents were that way. They did not speak of it. Obviously, they may have been on opposite sides of the fence as far as political parties. They didn't speak of it. It was something they were taught that you just keep to yourself. I don't doubt they may have been immigrants, because you're not allowed to talk about that in other countries. You only were allowed to support one party, or you got pew. They get rid of you. Yeah, we've got a little more chaos and mayhem that's going to happen. Of course, we're going on to August 19th. That's when the Democratic Party starts. Again, Uranus is showing up to square off with a full moon on the same time. Look for that Democratic convention to really have a lot of unpredictability with it. Anytime Uranus shows up, expect the unexpected. Then we're going to move down into November. Can somebody let me know down in the comments what day the election is? Is it the 3rd or the 5th? Because on November the 8th, Pluto goes into opposition with Mars, and we know Mars has to do with anger and heat and frustration, and Pluto is just a troublemaker. If you remember back in the original old, I believe, Popeye, before his name was Bluto, the bad guy, the tough guy, they called him Pluto. And then I believe Disney got rights of the Pluto with the dog. Anyway, Pluto is a troublemaker, and he will agitate and incite. And so Mars, and that comes into opposition on November the 8th. So the 5th. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah. So again, anytime I give you dates, that is when the planets come into alignment for that. That energy builds a couple days before that alignment, and it carries over a couple days after that alignment. And a lot of times we have oppositions and retrogrades that happen that last weeks. So sometimes they can stir things up just more than a day or two. Let's see, what else do I have down here? Yeah, there's going to be more attempts to derail the election. Absolutely. Whatever it may be. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody even throws I can't even say the word BOMB, scare into a crowd somewhere. And I'm going to tell you, this makes us vulnerable as a country. The world is looking at us right now like we are a bunch of special needs kids, and they were going to take over and help us. We don't want that. What is Russia going to do? They're keeping an eye on us. It would be, I don't think anybody is going to step in on us country-wise. President Biden's already got us asshole deep in the Ukraine issue. Financially, we shouldn't even be in any of that. We shouldn't be in any of that. We need a leader that's going to take people to the peace table and talk, and not. And I can't. You know what? I know you're a weaker country, but we can't support you. I'm sorry, but how about if we get together and heal this? You know, what would be wrong with that? When old men make the decision for our sons to die, yeah, we do. We have our own problems. We don't. The last thing we need to do is be weak about this at all, by any means. I am going to go ahead and pull some cards too as we talk. If you guys see the flashlight back there at all. Okay, yeah, it's still working. I'm sorry, Spirit, that I mess up the light for you. Ooh, my hands are stiff. I do not eat. I eliminated flour from my diet. Some of you guys know that I harp on that. Taking control of your life and your own health, and learning, educate yourself on what's good, what's not. I want to talk about the food pyramid and how dangerous it is. But I eliminated flour from my diet, and my arthritis went away. I don't have any achy joints. Well, now they take that back. I'm sore right now. yesterday was a cheat day for me, and I had pasta, I had crackers, I had bread, I had everything that was flour. Today I feel achy, so it tells me it's working. It not celiacs by any disease or by any means, but flour it holds inflammation. On a good note, I found a blue jay. Ah, yeah. Don't be surprised if you do see more and more signs right now, because our loved ones feel us when we get scared and worried. Ooh, 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 there's a Leo with an issue going on with a marriage here. Somebody wants to get married. We have the Strength card. This is what's required of us right now. We have to stay strong. We have to stay, pull it together. That's where I pull the old biker chick out. And you know what? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. We're not going to be victims. Strength card, yeah, that's us. That's what is required of us. That's also an 8. That means this is a repeating cycle. This happened before in our country. It's going to happen again. The 8 over her head, and of course the the 8 in the center of the card, and the 8 or the infinity sign over her head. Okay, relax, Tina. Yeah, the energy has got me kind of jazzed up a little bit. No caffeine since, let's see, what time is it? No caffeine since like 4 o'clock. That could be for a Leo. The Hierophant also came out in reverse. There may be a Leo that's wanting to get married, needing to get married. However, in reverse, yeah, it hasn't happened. Or it could be falling apart for Leo. Now, this card actually depicts leadership. Somebody like clergy. It also indicates that's where we need to look. A lot of people are going to be looking back to church, back to God, and that's where we need to go. That's where we need to go. Not to let the negative get to us. Yeah, I incorporated a little bit of potatoes back into my diet. I eat very clean, almost carnivore for the most part throughout the week, with some intermittent fasting. But I weight train, so I need the protein. I hike, kayak. I do it. I'm busy. I love the protein, but I did add some potatoes back. If I find some good farmers market potatoes and not these GMO'd, chemically sprayed potatoes that we have, however, they're high in potassium and very good for us. Yeah, if you eliminate flour from your diet, if you have any issues with any autoimmune disorders, when you eliminate flour, you're eliminating half of it right there. Flour does hold inflammation in the body. All right, Lisa, who do you think the blue jay feather was from? Oh, okay. All right, Lisa, answer the question. The light came on. Who is a blue jay feather from? I mean, and it came on bright too. I got a dad. I was getting a dad or a grandfather figure. I also get somebody that may have been wearing like bib overalls. Did that grandpa wear bib overalls at all? Do you know? Hello, Melanie. How are you? Pulling some cards, talking about some of the events that have been happening and what to expect if you're new into the room. We do have the paranormal flashlight right on cue. Wow. It is set up. We also have Lisa's grandpa hanging out with us. Only beings of the light are allowed in. And I am pulling some tarot cards for what's happening. We have the Emperor. I believe this card is as for the collective. This card is for us to maintain our control, not to allow this to shake us and scare us. He has the 4 over his head in Roman numerals. 4 is the number of divine, of God, of the Great Spirit. So as we keep our control, just know where that comes from. I also got the Wheel of Fortune. Now, in light of what's going on, that Wheel of Fortune has a lot of chaos that can be going on in the background of it. And we almost have to really look for the good, take our lemons, get some tequila and make lemonade with it. There is going to be some opportunity for a lot of people with what's going on. There's going to be some prosperity. That may not come until after the election and after the country gets kind of back to normal. Sherry Johnson, how is my grandson doing? Sherry, is it he in spirit? I believe. Is that why you're asking? All right, let me see. I'm trying to dial in on him. Give me a hello, my brother Gary. Sherry, he's been sending you signs recently. You don't trust your own intuition on it. And you felt it, you wanted to believe it, but you're not sure. Did you find a feather too? Because he's showing me a blue jay. Now, it's common that they link signs together. We call that piggybacking. When several of them want to come in on the same sign like that. Jumping back to Lisa there for a minute. Your grandpa, the reason he sent you that feather is because he says it's okay to pursue this new interest you have. Go after it. Sherry, your grandson. Is his mother your daughter? He's worried about a woman right now, and I feel like it would be his mother. He's your grandson is worried about a woman right now. He really wants. Did they split up after he died? I feel like he is so worried about a woman right now. She's going through a breakup of some nature, and he's concerned about her, and he's going to be around the woman, and I assume that is his mama. Unless you're going through this, because I can't direct really to where the energy is coming from via internet makes it a little bit tough. Okay, Colleen, let's see. Any message from your parents? Yep. They want you to know you're never alone. You know, you hear it. You actually smell cigarette smoke from time to time. Um, so I'm not sure who that is in your family that they do the cigarette smoke around you because you recognize, you know, that's going to be one of them. Yeah, Colleen, I'm kind of like you. I'm the Lone Ranger. All my family's already gone on the other side. Well, brother, you need to lean on me a little bit. You're welcome. I've got broad shoulders and a wide ass. You can. That is my pal Gary Gerhardt. He is an old riding buddy of mine. We go back many, many moons together, decades. As a matter of fact, he is one of the people that, God, 30 years ago or more, they nicknamed me the Iron Amazon. Um, I'm tall. I was taller then. Began at that age where I'm shrinking. And I worked out in the gym. I was a trainer in a gym. And I also rode what we refer to as Harley Davidson's, our big iron. Thank you, Spirit on Light. So they nicknamed me. You guys have heard me called the Iron Amazon. You see it on some of my stuff. And my brother Gary there is one of them. Also, his brother. Have you ever heard me tell the story about the fellow that was sick and in a chemically induced coma? It was Gary's brother. And a brief touch on that story, real briefly. His brother was very sick and in a chemically induced coma while they were trying to get him to heal. And his wife would call for prayer. And she'd say, he's taken a turn for the worse. Could you please pray? And I took the time out of my day, and I'm going to tell you, I only spent 30 seconds to a minute. That's all it takes. Dear Lord, you know what? Pull my buddy Larry through. Help him out. He's, help him. Come on. And Larry, after he got out of the hospital and was on the mend, he got a hold of me and referred his story back to me. And he said, Tina, I saw you. I heard your prayers, and thank you. So prayer is real. Oh, thank you, Gary. Just as long as I got to watch that old iron doesn't get rusty. Okay, let's see. I'm kind of jumping around here on, picking out some of these questions. Jersey Girl. Is that you, Trina? Okay, I kind of wondered. I looked at my demographics, and I have followers, especially over there at Facebook, all over the globe. Unfortunately, I have a high amount of them in Singapore, Vietnam, those places that they specialize in hacking your accounts. Gary, I've been sending you and your bride some extra prayers here as she goes through her surgeries and all the medical issues she has to deal with. You stay strong, brother, and if you need anything, holler. Oh, Melanie, that's a tough one. You want to put me on a line like that? Oh, wow. Yeah, his dad's coming through. Hang on. She says, I have a 14-year-old son here with me. Does his father in spirit have a message for him? You tell him his dad is proud of him. I feel like he may be dealing with some anger right now, and his dad sees that. He's also saying the usual dad things like, mind your manners, be polite. Um, he also knows he's having a hard time with school right now. He doesn't want to be in school. Oh, Melanie, that's okay, honey. I couldn't resist. I would go ahead and give him the message. But you tell him his dad said not to quit, not to give up his dreams. He wanted to go on for some kind of schooling. I don't know if it's like IT or special technical schooling. That his dad's saying go. Don't let anything hold you back. You know what, you guys? There's 10 of us here. Let's throw a little prayer at this young man right now and just send some energy his way and give him the strength to go on without his daddy. You tell him he's got this. All right, let's see if we can let's see if we can perk this back up a little bit. Good Lord. All right, just pulling a few more cards for the collective to see what else is on the horizon. All right. Wow. Wow. Okay. How did the hell does that ever happen? Okay. I got 3 cards. They all kind of jumped out separately. 3 threes. How does that happen? You can't make this up. All right. We're going to start with the 3 of Wands. That is about prayer answered. Okay? Prayers answered. That means we have to pray in order to get the answer. All right? It is a time for prayer and reflection. Make sure you don't buy into the tension and the drama, and do the best you can to circle yourself in white light. The 3 of Pentacles. It's a time to come together in collaboration with other people that do what you do, that stand for what you stand. Kind of like what we're doing here now. Whenever there are 2 or more of you, okay, you know how it goes. God is not going to leave us. He's not going to abandon us at all. And we also have the 3 of Cups. And while that's normally about, kind of a celebratory thing, it's repeating to me that we can't let the negativity bog us down, that we have to stay up, we have to stay upbeat. Colleen, you have one too? Colleen, in your case there, is the boy you're talking about a little bit of an introvert? Even though he is dealing with some anger issues, I feel like he's naturally an introvert. A little bit of depression there too, right? Thank you, Spirit, back there on the light. I'm catching you, yeah. Especially when we're dealing with these young men. Colleen, I think you're going to see him make a big change in the next year. Um, he's going to mature a little bit. The anger is going to go away, and he's going to get a little guidance and focus. Is there a man in his life now that's kind of helped and give him some direction? Okay, he's a nephew or kind of a cousin. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He's going to come around. Yeah. Like back to the three thing? How in the hell does that many threes pop up? All right, I'm going to switch decks here. How long have I been? Do I have a timer? Yeah. Okay. This setup is completely different than the one I'm used to. Page of Pentacles. It jumped on the floor. That's telling me there's going to be a big change, and the money issue is going to really just bottom out. Boy, if you think inflation's bad now, wait to see it in the next 6 months, throughout the end of the year, anyway, into the first of the 2025. Page of Pentacles. That's the page speaks of change, and the fact that it is pinnacle. Intuitively, I went right with the money, and when it hit the floor, that sign told me that that's what's going to happen. Our money is just going to hit rock bottom, and it's not going to have the value that it has had. We're going to need more money at the grocery store. We're going to need more money to pay to keep the heat on, and that kind of thing. The Emperor came up again, a second Emperor, kind of validating that we need to hang on to our own power, not to succumb to the fear porn, not to, and I have a hard time. I have to keep checking myself about how I present to you guys, because I don't want anybody getting, being scared or afraid. Yeah, this is just like insurance. We're ready, if you're prepped with food and groceries, water and supplies, you may never need it. Amen. And all right. The Hermit card came out along with the Seven of Wands. That Hermit is about illumination and learning. We're going into a time when it's important to make sure we get the facts and educate ourselves and learn about what we're getting into. Research your political parties, research your candidates, just educate yourself every step of the way, like checking weather reports and travel advisories. That Seven of Wands is about, seven is a spiritual number. And thank you, Spirit, back there in the light. This is about us. We may have to battle with ourselves to hang on to our spirituality, to remain connected to our God source. It may be a struggle, but I'm not the only one to predict this. Not far down the road, organized religion is going to really take a hit. A lot of people are learning you don't need to be in church to worship, to know God is with me every step of the way. So we're going to see organized religion make a massive, massive change in the years to come. Again, another 7. You can't make this stuff up. There it is, a 7. Now, this 7 of Swords speaks loudly of deception. We have been deceived. Mainstream media has been giving us what they wanted us to hear, what they wanted us to know. You know, the old timers had an expression, and my grandmother and grandfather, I remember them saying this. Don't believe anything you hear and half of what you see. I think that was sound advice. All right. Hello, Tierra. How are you? Whoops. Sherry, she had a dream about 3 cups of Dunkin' coffee. 3 Splenda. 3 nights ago. Wow. All right, we got the 6 of Swords. Right after that, 7. It's going to be troubled waters for a while. But we can't keep looking back at it. We have to move forward every day and try and, yeah, the light's going nuts back there. But we have to try every day to just keep moving forward, not looking back, not allowing ourselves to buy into the fear porn, researching everything we hear and see. Where did that card go? Oh, there it went right back in the deck. Again, what was the card that fell on the floor? Page of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Pentacles. I wanted to see which one that was that fell on the floor. This horse isn't moving. He's just standing there. That's where we're going to be financially. We're not going to gain any ground for a while through this tough time coming into the election with the way the economy is going to be. It's not going to be a good time to try and get bills paid off or paid ahead, where we just want to maintain and not lose ground. And that's what this is about. We'll come back out on the other side better, though, eventually here. We had that Wheel of Fortune earlier. So that light is, I see it, it's still going crazy back there. Yeah, Gary. Yeah, that's your 3. Absolutely, brother. Gary, you want to, you know something, brother, let me tell you something. Your intuition, and any man that hunts, and Gary is an avid hunter. Men who hunt or fish have as good intuition as anybody. Sometimes that's the second time that has come out. I put it back once too, as I was talking. Any man who goes into the woods, you have, yeah, of course you track and you look for sign, but it's bottom line is it's your intuition telling you which way to go and what you're looking for. Yeah, men have, especially hunters, man. You guys have a hunter, and the next thing is a biker. Bikers have good intuition. Some days we just know not to get on the damn thing. Stay home, go a different road, whatever. We have that intuition. That card that came out a second time, it came out earlier, and I was, preoccupied there, stuck it back in the deck. But it is the Justice card. Justice will prevail. Plain and simple. I think we've got a lot of chaos we've got to get through. There's going to be postponements or cancellations in regards to the election, but justice will prevail. It'll eventually get ironed out. I think it's making me feel like the right man's going to get in office, whoever that might be. Now, Mr. T, old 45 there, he has in his chart, his birth chart, he has his sun is conjunct a planet that is called Algol. And Algol is a planet, it's actually a fixed star, and it is in reference to beheading. So as a prediction, people don't get beheaded nowadays. However, they can be beheaded in the public. They can be, persecuted on news that way. Trump's ear, that's close. That's close. But he's going to be under those aspects until after February of 2025. So he's going to have to watch his P's and Q's and get that a Secret Service and get them in practice a little better. Yeah, that flashlight has really been active tonight. All right. And this is going to be the last card I'm going to pull. The Nine of Swords. About worry. It's about fear. It's about anxiety. It's about regret. This card came up in reverse, so don't go there. That's what it's telling us. Not to take this on. The energy is going to be thick. It's going to be intense, but we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. No big deal. It's almost like another day at the office. Any insights about what Mr. T's about his charges and the sentencing that he's supposed to have coming up yet? If this could be a catalyst for some trouble. If they try to sentence him, jail time at all, do you think this country will stand for that? The guy that took a bullet for that party, it clipped him. But that damn fist pump, man, he came up letting us know he was okay, and we're going to stay strong. He told us to fight, fight, fight. Gary, were you at the rally then? Close enough to smell the gunpowder. Wow. Yeah, you know what? I know several people that were supposed to be there and didn't. Divine intervention, maybe. Some people you were kept out of. Wow, that had to be some crazy. You know what? You got on here to hear me talk about how proud I am of that Pennsylvania crowd. Nobody ran. They ducked. You know, PA people, we hunt, we fish, we know you got to. Sometimes you got to duck something. They ducked. They didn't run. Yeah, some of the guys they popped up their heads up right away, looking around to see, like, where's that shooter coming from. Wow. All right, you guys, gone on long enough. So grateful for the paranormal flashlight, that it just kept going for us. Anybody got any last questions? Wow. Yeah, you had to. Oh, wow. You know what? We are living in a time now. That's funny. The card that came out, Ten of Swords. This one says everything is fine. This is going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. Gary, you're going to have to relay that story to me next time we get a chance to have a beer together. All right. That Ten of Swords is about, we're going to be wrapping up a cycle here. Changing, a lot of changes coming, but everything's going to be fine. We gotta hang on to that. All right, you guys, I never leave you, that I don't bless you with love and light, and I certainly appreciate you guys following me. So we'll call it a night.